Hi everyone, I am really excited to have received this lovely gift from my friend Michelle. She sent it to me all the way from the USA, and it's a very cute colouring book. I thought I would show you a little flip through and then we'll colour some of it, a bit of a page. I'm not going to be able to do a whole page because they're quite big. Now the book is roughly A4 size. This is an A4 piece of paper. It's a bit of a reveal of a page that I've done this month for myself. In the UK, this is A4. I think this is probably American. I don't know if it is a letter. It's a bit smaller, isn't it? Because American letter size is a bit longer than A4. So gives you a rough idea for the size anyway. And the cover is quite matte, as you can see. Oh, it's a bit dusty. My house is full of builder's dust at the moment, which isn't good. This room is usually better kept closed up, but this book hasn't been in this room. But anyway, so the cover is matte. You can see half the page is coloured and half isn't on this page. And I haven't said it's called Aria Vale, and it's by Chroma. Okay, and on the back we have the name again. And it says, Mr. Bear has come to live in Aria Vale. Follow his journey in discovering the wonders of this dreamy village. So each of the pictures obviously features Mr. Bear and him looking around. So should we have a look around? So let's open up. Now this paper is fairly toothy. It's American Amazon printed paper. So it's quite rough. But I think that's okay. I'm used to colouring on it. Now it's a fairly thin book, if you see. So I would put some padding under the pages when colouring if it was me, especially towards the end of the book. But anyway, let's carry on. Today is a good day to be in Aria Vale. That's our intro page. And then we have, so on this side we have a word, and this side we have a picture, which means on the back of the pictures there's nothing. So that means that you can use any sort of pens, pencils, even maybe paint, although the paper will probably wrinkle, and not worry about it going through, as long as you put something behind to protect the page. There's nothing much to spoil on the back. So welcoming party. So we have a lovely gateway. This is a really pretty picture. I love colouring stones. We have a lovely gemstone here. It is the one that's on the cover, but I wouldn't colour it in these colours, you know, I do it my own way. And here we have Mr. Bear. I assume this is Mr. Bear, and I assume this bunny is greeting him. So it's got, you can see it's fairly simplistic, which I rather like. So there's not lots of there's a few small details, but it's quite a lot of bigger areas as well. It means you can do a plain sky, you can leave it white, you can do sunset or whatever you might like to do. I think it's not too daunting with the details. See, this is a little bit small here, but you know, it's only one element, and then these are quite large. So I think it's quite good in that sense, and I like the perspective is good. We've got a larger stone here and smaller ones here, so it looks like we're going into the distance, and it's really nice. So there is our first page. No, it's called The Arrival. We need to turn around. I'm quite zoomed out, aren't we? I don't know how well you can see that. The print is quite pale, which I think is quite good. So you haven't got really dark defined edges, so you can sort of do what you want. We've got some lovely trees here, and it says Station Vale. So we've got a clock, ticket office. I guess this is Mr. Bear. We've got some lovely stones, a bench, and lots of things that I really like to colour. Trees and wood and stonework and things like that. And there's sort of post, which could be fun, could be gold or silver. We've got a lamppost, could do some shine from that or not. Could be probably daytime, it might not be lit, you know. And trying to work out what that there is. Is it a train in distance? Not sure. I don't know. So anyway, that's fun. So there is that one. Oh, and we're back around this way. Check you can still see. Yes, this is called News of the Day, as you can see. Let's pop it into the middle. Again, quite faint, but we have a shop. So we have little steps going in. It says kiosk since 1988, which is quite cool. It doesn't feel that long ago to someone of my great age. My kids are like, Mum, that's ages ago. Anyway, and it says station, so we're obviously still near the station. We've come in and we have got the newspapers here. We also got what looks like books and things like that. And we've got some more steps going up the side there. Look, another lamppost and a lamp up here too. We've got a pretty tiled roofed colour. There's lots of lovely details there. And there's quite a lot of white space around the edge. So you could choose to do a little bit of a pastel around there, you know, soft pastels, or even some paint, or just leave it white. I'm not sure what I will do. I will probably decide one at a time as I do the pictures. So this one is called Fresh from the Tree. Oh, what fun. Look, it's a juice bar. So we have our tree here with, it looks like apples, but actually it says, look, menu berry apple. So these are apples, and we're being served. This isn't Mr. Bear. Maybe this is Mr. Bear, because this is the long ears. I don't know. Anyway, we've got all sorts of fruit, mushrooms, different bushes and greenery to colour. So there's a lot of botanicals and wood again, which I really like. So it's a really lovely book. So Michelle has picked really well for me. This one's called Couture by Cashin. Let's have a look. So here it says Cashin there. And we have a dress shop sort of thing on a cart. Again, we've got wood, which is great fun, lots of florals. Got a tree here, and we've got a mirror with she's trying on. It's a little step, look. So she's gone up the step and trying on something which looks almost like a wedding dress. Look at her everything. It's really pretty, and a little apron on the little cat. That's really cute. I like that. And we've got a lamppost. Maybe we have one in every picture. We'll find out. So here we have a beach. It's called Gentle Breeze. This is this font is nice and big and bold, isn't it? So we have a sign to the beach. We have another sort of lamp. We have our palm tree. We have a menu here with juice, coffee, soda, ice cream in dollars. Interesting. Apples. And we have another wood, lots of wood again. So we've got wood ground, wood benches, a little hut where you can buy your bits and pieces, coffee, ice cream, things like that. So that's rather fun. And out here, look, so we've got a boat. So this is the sea. You can see it breaking, a little jetty. And this is obviously going to be the sand. So that's going to be fun. This one is called Afternoon Tea. So we have a very smart looking building. It's called Bobba's Tea Shop. We have the door and the brickwork to do. And inside we can see two characters here with a cake stand full of cookies and cakes. That's really good fun. It says cookies here as well, and tea on there. Up here is a menu, and it says Ceylon, Darjeeling, Assam, which are all types of tea. So that's really good fun. So someone's having a drink, but someone here is doing a little bit of cleaning. And we've got more wood to colour, bricks and things. That's really good fun. I like that. Herbs and pots. Let's have a look. Oh, how cute. We've got so many little bears in this picture. So we have, I'm trying to work out what's going on. We have a counter with some of the herbs hanging up and some growing here, look. Lots of stone on the floor. And soil there, I guess. Not sure. More plant potions. Look at that. What fun is that? Now I'm thinking these are probably glass. I'm thinking maybe this is a greenhouse. That's how I would colour it anyway. That's great fun, isn't it? This one's called Town Registry. To go back around this way. So we have a fountain. Maybe bench, another lamppost, tree, and we have a sort of table, look, with the book, notice board, and lots of official looking papers. And we have this sort of tree trunk there, which is fun. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but it's a good fun picture. There's lots of colour in there. I like that. This one is called Clove and Thyme, and here we have its spice supply. So we have all sorts of drawers and scales to weigh out. Bags and barrels, can colour all sorts of colours. Spices can be really bright. You think of turmeric and sumac and things like that could be really bright. We've got all little packets here. So there's a lot of detail in this one that you could do lots of different colours, or you could stick to keeping them all same colour if you want. You've got a rub, and there's growing some here. Sesame in there, look, thyme, clove, chilli. So that's all, and we've got a sort of prices here, sesame, bay leaf, so these are the bay, and chilli, so that's fun. And counter, and we've got a sort of brick wall behind and another lamp to colour, so there's quite a lot of little details in that one. I think it's quite nice to have a mix of little and less detail, which I think is really good. This is called Best Soup in the Vale, so we're guessing we're in a soup shop. Let's have a look. We've got a nice sort of overhang of roof. I thought it was like one of those shuttery things, but it's not. A fire, look, so you can draw some flames in there or leave it black. I think I'll probably put some warm looking fire colours in there. And what have we got going on up here? It's sort of preparing veggies, I guess. There, Tilly's Bistro, so we've got a ladder. It's a sort of bamboo type structure, isn't it, on the water? So we've got water under here, someone eating, little counter. It's really good fun, and someone looking at the menu with little lights over it. That's really cool. That's a fun one. Stargazers. So we have a sort of observatory, I guess. So we've got a couple of steps and some plants, but we go in, we've got some potions, not sure why, but they're fun to colour, it doesn't matter. Books and maps, and a sort of globe look with a telescope, and a table and a sort of star map, I'm guessing. Some plants, and we've got a very interesting dome, so you could colour that in all sorts of celestial colours if you wanted to. That's really good fun. It's a nice one. Moonlight Brewing. So what do we have going on? We can't quite see the top of the moon, but it goes all the way up. I'm going to push up so you can just see the detail at the bottom. So we have clouds and moon, and we have a really interesting cauldron. So there's a bit of a witch, a bit of a Halloween themed one, which is good fun. It's got a few plants growing and baskets and buckets of bits and pieces. And this is actually a tree stump look, or a hollowed out bit of tree, which will be great fun to colour. So we've got a sort of wood bit going on there. We've got our bottles and potions and things and books. I think that's great fun. It's really cute. And a nice little outfit to think about colouring. I would do probably purple, green, something like that. Really good fun. This one is called Dr. Crone is Flying In. So have a look, and this is called Crone Clinic. It's got a wooden building, and it's not as a few plants and things, lantern. So it's quite cool if you just want something fairly samey, you know, lots of wood. Be fun to do, I think, if you don't want too much little detail to colour. And we've got a lot of detail already marked on the wood, so it's it gives you a clue as to what to colour. And I think we are done. Hope you enjoy our walks. Please look forward to our other adventure in Chrome Artist. I assume that looks like the Instagram sign, so I assume you can go and have a look at that. And if you go to the very back page, we have Made in the United States, Orlando, Florida, and the date. So that's rather cool. So I'm going to pick one to colour. I want one that's fairly simple. I probably won't do the whole page, so I'm just having a quick flick through. They're all rather cute, aren't they? Not doing the first one. I'm going to do that as a buddy colour with my friend. So I think I might actually do the last one instead. But I won't do all of it today, but I'll do some of it. I'm just going to grab some paper to put behind, as it's the last page. I want some cushioning. Oops. And I've got my Polychromos pencils here. I just grabbed those just to see how they would go. Now where should we start? Let's start at the top. I'll come in a lot closer. Maybe I'll just show you a bit of the window, a bit of wood and a bit of plants might work. Let's start with some wood. How I normally do wood is I choose my lightest colour first. So what I think I'm going to do is this sign and the door and the window frames I'm going to do in a different wood to the main building, a different colour, just so that it's a bit more interesting. So I'm going to use some of the more warmer browns for the actual building, and then some of the more grey browns for the sign. So for warmer browns in the Polychromos, I would say your brown ochre, your burnt sienna, and maybe if you want to, and for the darker ones maybe the walnut brown. And then for the more grey browns I would go for Bistra, Nougat, oops, just trying to turn the pencil right, and your Van Dyke browns, something like that. So you've got a slight difference. So I'm going to start, as I say, with my brown ochre and do some of the background now. Just trying to work out, we seem to have a little bit of a roof going on, so I'm going to avoid that and just do in here. What I think I'm aiming to do is just this very first slat of wood in here, and just see how we go really. Now as I say, I'm not going to finish this whole picture in this video. You're just going to make a start, and so I will publish the completed page on my, let me think, I'll pop it on my Facebook page, and I will also try and remember to pop it up on Instagram, but it will be in my completed pages video at the end of the month. Now you can see, because this paper, I'm going to come in even closer for you, because this paper is quite toothy, we've got quite a lot of white still showing through at this stage. That's fine. It just means if you like to have it looking more solid colour wise, you'll have to layer it up a bit more. I'm going to grab my next colour. I'm going to use the burnt sienna to put in some darker areas, and I'm thinking firstly the edges. I'd like to put a little darker bit along the edges. Like that, and then on the other side as well. And then I sort of think about, you know, maybe there would be a little bit just above the window. Oh, that was a very loud train. Like this, so sort of under the leaves where they might be casting a bit of a shadow, like that. Now I'm going to go back to my brown ochre and go back over, so, and it will not only fill in some of that white, but it would also help to blend together these two colours. Now you may find it fades it a bit more than you would like, so you maybe can't see the burnt sienna as much as you wanted. If that's the case, you can draw it back in after. I'm not, if you don't push down too hard, you'll still have some tooth in the paper, so that you can add another layer. I find you can add quite a lot of layers on the Amazon paper, on the Amazon US paper. The UK paper is really different. It's quite funny. But we'll just carry on with this bit. Now I wouldn't leave it just at this though. Although we have got the wood grains drawn in a little bit, we can do a little bit more with that. Now normally I would wait until I'd done the whole section of this colour, but I'll show you now. So I'm going to grab the walnut brown, I'm going to sharpen it. You need a sharp pencil for this, and what I'm going to do is emphasize some of the shadows and draw in some more wood grain. So walnut brown, and I'm just going to go right along the edge here with a hardish layer, just where that roof part or whatever it might be overhangs. I think it would cast a tiny bit of shadow, and then I'm going to do the same thing under all of the leaves, like that. It's quite straightforward. A little bit over here, just takes a bit of time. Okay, now what I would normally do is do a harder one between each of these boards. I'm not going to do that now, I will wait until I finished, because I've got to think about which is overlapping. So is the shadow going to be below this line or above this line? And I'll think about that once I've coloured it all and how it seems to naturally fall. For example, I'm looking at this bit here, look, sticks out, so there would be a shadow under here. So I might naturally just put a shadow underneath each of these, so it might come underneath, like I did up here. Okay, now I'm going to draw in this. We've got a line here, so I'm going to emphasize those lines that are drawn in black, like that. And you could leave it there, but I like to just add a few extras of my own like this, quite a lot of texture, because wood, if you look at my desk, look at all those lines. So that's what I'm going to try and do here. I don't know what wood, I think this is beech, my desk. I say my desk, it's actually not, but anyway. I have claimed it as mine. There we go. So it's a little bit lighter than the other ones, but I think that that works nicely. And what we'll do now, I do the window frame because that's going to be a different colour wood to show you. And yeah, windows aren't always the easiest thing to approach. So I'm thinking, oops, yeah, I'm thinking, oh, can't get it out. The nougat as our base, oh sorry, blurred, as our base colour. Now we have 2 layers of frame on all of the windows. What I think I'm going to do is make this outer one wood, and maybe the inner one not. Maybe, I'm trying to think, maybe it would be metal. You can obviously get wooden windows, but I don't know. Might look more interesting if I did it in greys and silvers rather than black. I mean brown. My mind is wandering because I did think about doing it in black. That's why I said black, but no. So there's a basic nougat there, and you can see how very different it's going to look to the other colour. Oops, my pencil's just rolled away. And I'm going to use the Van Dyke brown for my darker shade. Just give it a sharpen. Now we don't have any wood grain drawn on this. I'm going to draw some in, but I'm going to put some shadow in first. So under here, just go all the way around the window really. Adding in a bit of a dark line. Just follow the line that's there already. It's nice and straightforward. It doesn't need to be really even. Mine isn't. And then some shadow under these. Nice and easy, like that. Now remember on this one we then went back over with a layer of our lighter. That's what we're going to do again here. So we're going to grab our nougat again and go back over. There isn't so much darker detail on this one. Could have gone around the edge. I think I will in a minute. I'll show you when I finish this layer. Actually, I've got a different idea. I'll show you. It should work quite nicely and be fairly straightforward. You could leave it like this and then just get your nougat your Van Dyke brown and draw on a few wood grain lines. But I'm going to do something slightly different first. I'm actually going to make this look a little bit more rounded because it's a round piece of wood. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a darker layer around the edge and just bringing some of that colour through into the middle on both sides. I can do that all the way around. And hopefully it's going to start to give it some shape, which I think can be quite fun. We just fade it in and it's straightforward. Yeah, so it looks more like it's a rounded, it looks like it's a bent round branch. You wouldn't really get wood in the round circle. Well, I think you can if you use, they do it when they're weaving, don't they? They soak it and then bend it. But anyway, I think it looks fun. We're not going for reality here, are we? So the inner window, I'm thinking, I'm just looking at the others to see if it's going to work, and I think it will. I'm thinking sort of silverish. So if we go for our cold greys, they're more silvery. Let's take a really light one and do a layer, and we therefore use the same sort of technique we've been using. So the cold grey 2 is probably the lightest that actually shows up. The cold grey 1 is very pale. It's quite nice for blending and things, but it's very, very pale. I'm just going to go over the whole thing with this to start with, and then have a little think about exactly how to do it. This is going to be the last bit. I've decided I'm not going to do any of the leaves for you because leaves, most people have some idea of what to do with leaves, but I think the windows and the wood is slightly more complex. Whoops. Okay, this is the cold grey 4. It's a little small. I'm going to do it along the edge here to form a bit of a shadow from that, because that wood is supposed to be slightly three-dimensional. I think it would form a little shadow around the edge of our window, like that. Now these I'm thinking would be darker, so I'm just going to go in quite dark with those. And now I'm sort of thinking about the light a little bit after we put a bit of shadow under there. And I'm thinking we could do it so that it's a little bit lighter in some areas than others to make it look like it's shiny. So what I think I'm going to do is make it a bit darker here, just by gently layering, and then fade that up and down. Okay, a little bit across to here. Do the same on the other side. A bit across and a bit down, and I think it just makes it look slightly more reflective of the light. It's not massively, I don't think we need to make a really big deal out of that, but we can just grab our cold grey 6 and add a little bit of shine on these shadows. So what I'm going to do is make it a little bit darker in the corner and just fade it towards the middle. Same on this one, and the same on this one, and a bit down there because under that plant I emphasise that shadow a bit too. It's a really odd noise outside. I was really distracted then. Okay, so there is our window frame. I'm quite happy with that, but we have to think about the glass. Now, it says on the caption that Dr. Crone is flying in. I can't see him anywhere. I'm wondering whether he's there or is he not there. If he's there, we might want the lights on, make it welcoming. If he's not there, it might be dark inside, or the glass might just be reflecting the light. I think it'll look a lot more friendly if we light up the window. So I'm going to go for that look. I'm going to grab a couple of yellows. Gosh, I've suddenly gone really cold. You have to excuse me if you can see my arms. I've got all goosebumps. I don't know why. Right, so this is the cadmium yellow, and I'm going to use that around the edge of the window. I'm going to do quite a hard layer around the edge of this pane of glass and then just fade it into the middle like that. Okay, and the same on this one. Now I will do all the windows the same as this. Okay, so you may not want to do them all the same, but just so that you don't think what's she going to do with the rest, keep them the same. And I think this adds some nice warmth to this window because we've got this silvery bit which is obviously quite cold. This adds a nice warmth and it makes the house look all welcoming. Now we're going to use our second yellow. I grabbed the light cadmium yellow to do the rest. So hopefully it will make the centre slightly lighter than the edge. And I like that look. You can keep it all the same. You can make the outside a darker colour, more of an orangey yellow, maybe the chrome. Is it called the chrome yellow? What's that one? No, the dark cadmium yellow, sorry. Might work on the outside. But there we go, there's our window and wood. So I'm going to leave it there, oops, and I will decide a bit more about how to do it all as I go. As I say, there's a lot of wood. I'm going to keep it pretty much as I've showed you. Obviously do some green leaves. I'm not sure what shade of green. I will probably keep it to either a grass green, leaf green type permanent green, or a earth green yellowish type green. I won't be going for the phthalo greens. I think no, those warmer yellowy colours will go nicer with the wood. The name, I'm going to colour the same colour as the mailbox, but I haven't decided yet, and I will make the flowers a similar colour too, just so that it all comes together, because we've got so much of the same, with the same woods and the same window colours and things like that. I will, and I'll also probably do the lamppost in the same silvery greys that I did the windows, so it all comes together quite neatly. I haven't thought about this piece on the roof. I might do it in this darker wood brown. I had considered doing it in the silver, but I think it would tie it in nicer if it's brown. So the name will be a warm colour, so maybe red or orange, something like that probably. I might do it in black, but I'm going to do all the wood, all the windows, all the leaves, and decide after. There are lots of different types of leaves on the page, and I will probably stick to quite a limited palette of either the earth greens, the earth green yellowish, may green, chromium green opaque, that sort of palette, or the grass green, leaf green, light green palette, but I will mix them, change them around a little bit so that not all leaves are identical, but they've all similar colours. But that's me. As I say, I will share the finished picture with you on my Facebook page, so you can go and have a little look. But for now, that is me. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the cute little book. I think it's very, very sweet. And a big thank you to Michelle for sending it. I can see me easily finishing this because it's just adorable. And she'll have to slow me down if she wants to see some buddy colours with me, because I'll be romping through it otherwise. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a lovely day and happy colouring. Hi everyone, I have finished this very sweet, quite small book called Aria Vale by Chroma, and I thought I would do a little flip through of the pages. This isn't my colouring, by the way, this is what's already on the cover. It is an Amazon printed book. This came from the US, and I found the paper quite toothy, even more so than some of the other US Amazon books that I have. So it created a few challenges for me when I was colouring it, but I shall explain as I show you through. So it's quite a sweet book, Comic Sans print, and it's done on one side only with the little title of the page on the other side. It means you can use lots of different media. Now this was actually done with watercolour pencils, and it was actually the page I felt worked the best. It did take quite a long time, but I felt like the wetting process of the pencils, I think I actually activated them with a blending solution. These were the Castle Arts pencils, by the way, and I also went over them. So I did a base with watercolour, and some of it I left like the sky, but then some of it, like here, I went around the edges to emphasise parts of it, and the same on some of the brickwork and things like that, and drawing on some fur and things. So that was that one. It was actually the second one I did, I think. Well, whereas this one I used what I think was maybe Arteza Expert pencil, something like that, and I just did a few layers, and you can see a lot of paper through. Now sometimes I don't mind that, but I felt it's given it a little bit of a scruffy look somehow to the page. It looks a bit rushed, I don't know, but just because of all the that pen. And this one as well, I got the same sort of thing, so I wasn't too happy with how it looked. So on my next one I did it slightly differently, I think. I didn't do them in order though, so it might not be the next page. So I felt this was too much the same colour. I wanted the colours to, there not to be too many different colours, but I felt that it was a bit too much the same. This one has got a few more layers of colour. You see a bit of shading on our animals and things like that. I actually spent a little bit longer. I don't know what pencils I used on this. By looking at the colour, I'm reckoning these are the Arteza Experts again, but I just layered it up a little bit more so it looks a little bit brighter and there's less paper showing through. Now this one I tried something a bit different. The mirror, I used a chrome marker. It looks quite nasty when it's flat like that, but when you tip it to the light it definitely looks mirrored. I'm still trying to master it. It doesn't come out very evenly, but you know. Anyway, but I wanted to sort of almost, I thought she was like in a wedding dress, and I sort of wanted her to be in a white dress, but when I left it white it just looked like I hadn't coloured it really. I think had I done a background round it might have worked, but I didn't want to do that. So anyway, so I did it sort of purple, pretty colours instead. Now this one has a lot of wood colours in it, but I didn't mind. I quite like the warmth from the browns, but I tried to do the walls and the floor in a different colour to the tables and chairs, and then it just helped it to stand out. I did the characters all the same colour. I was always a bit unsure every time I coloured a page what colour to do the characters. Do you do them all different or the same? Do they match? Are they different? Are they like teddy bear? Should the cat and rabbit have been different? I just didn't know. Anyway, I had some fun with this stripy umbrella. There's a bit of pen on the menu, this menu, because it was coloured in black. I used a Posca pen, but perhaps I should have used it for those as well, so it sort of matched. Not sure. Anyway, that's that one. And I missed the apple sticks, I've just noticed. Now this one, I'm not sure what pencils again, really unsure. But I was always, I didn't have the right colour for brick, so I did it sort of pinky colours, and I was quite pleased with it actually. The colour of the bricks worked well. It's a bit scruffy though. I could have spent a bit longer on it. But, now this one was interesting with all these windows. What do you do with lots of windows? Well, you go around the frame in a grey, and then you put a darker grey around the edge, and then you just put some lines across to make it look like it's reflecting light, and then you have to worry about what's outside the window. Also, I felt that although I can't draw, and I would never have tried this, if you put something through the window, it would distract from what's going on in here. And this is supposed to be about looking at what's going on in the room. That was my thought. It's not an excuse. I would never have tried that anyway. It's just not my capability, shall we say. But I quite like the simple colour palette on this one, see, these three are all teddy, so I did them like teddy colour. Now this one I think is a cat, but I thought it was quite nice keeping them all the same colour. You know, in the other one I wasn't sure if it was right to keep them the same colour, but I think if these three had all been the same and then this one different, I'm not sure it would have worked. Anyway, it's my view. Here we have another one with a lot of grey. Got a lot of stonework in all of these pictures, so it takes a lot of grey. This was done with Staedtler Design Journey pencils, I think, because I recognise those tones of grey. I didn't know if this was a fountain, but that's how I drew it. And these two are slightly different colours, but I sort of kept the... I don't know what that was there. I don't know if it should have been coloured in, if it was a white bit like that or what. I was a bit confused. Anyway. Yeah, I sort of wanted them different colours in this picture. I don't know why. But I kept a lot of this similar, just because I quite like this being the focus of the picture. Now we have, oh yes, this is a sort of shop selling spices really. There's a lot going on in this picture, so I kept quite a lot of it simple. Again, matching colours. These two are the same colour, the wood's all the same, that sort of thing. It was quite a challenge because I decided to do silvery metal and then we had glass. So trying to make them look a bit different, but I think it was okay. And this one was the soup shop. Now I was in two minds whether to do another colour for that, but I really wanted red and white. I felt that's how it would look. I did consider that perhaps I should have done some shadow each side and maybe a bit of shadow on the white with some grey, but in the end I just left it quite plain. It's a lot of wood in this picture and trying to make the different things stand out was a little bit challenging, but I had a go. And I like colouring wood, so I did enjoy it, but perhaps I should have coloured in the sea. I've just noticed that I didn't do that. Now this one, I was trying to make the roof look like it was stained glass. I'm not sure it really came out that well, but that was my intention. Look, I've missed a bit again. Never mind. I'm tempted, I've got a pencil to my side. I'm tempted to have a go and finish it, but I won't. This is the night sky sort of here, but and again I haven't coloured the stars in. Really slapdash, wasn't I, with this one? But I didn't want it to be really dark, so I did a little bit of purple. I'm not sure whether I should have gone over that darker because the moon doesn't really stand out. But it was difficult to know quite how to do that really. I wasn't sure because you've got it here, but does that mean that colour should really be all the way around? I like to keep it within the page really. Now this one is a nice sort of Halloweeny one, so if you haven't done this one then maybe save it for your Halloween, because you've got the moon, we've got the wizard brewing something in the cauldron. I kept it lots of pinks and purples because that's what I thought worked nicely together, but you don't have to do it that way. We've got a night sky again. I didn't colour the sky, I just coloured the clouds and the moon's going through there. You could put some glitter on it or something to make it really special. Yeah, all the mushrooms are the same colour. It was interesting, I've never coloured mushrooms pink and purple before, so that was a bit of fun for me, a bit different. We've got all this wood going on as well. Now this was the first picture that I did in the book, and I really enjoyed playing around with the wood on this one. I don't know what pencils I used for this, but it is the best one, and it was the first one I did, so I don't know. I'm thinking it's probably polychromos, you know, probably. I sort of matched up the red with the mailbox and the flowers and all the yellow windows. I just really enjoyed that one. So that is the last one. So there we go. And there's the end of the book. So just a short one, but hopefully if you've got the book and you're looking for a few ideas either of what to do or what not to do, then there you go. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a really super day and happy colouring.